Hi, it's Karen Morton here from the Food and Drink Show. Welcome to our seasonal show, and it is very festive. I've been enjoying wines and whiskey, and my face is glowing. So what could follow that? Well, it's either going to be cheese or chocolate. Well, I'm first of all going to do it a bit of the continental style. We're going to go sweet before we go cheese. And I have George Wellicome here from the Brighton Cacao company, and you've grown from strength to strength since we met earlier in the year. And for Christmas, you brought out a range of new products, George. So tell us what you have been creating.
So we've actually just brought out our advent calendars, but obviously they have finished we brought those out in November. And we now just launched some new chocolate bars as well. Obviously, we teamed up with Brighton Gin, so we made our gin truffles.
Great. Have they been a big success?
Oh, they've been huge, yeah. So we started off with just doing a little collaboration with Brighton Gin. We then got in there with the i360.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, because obviously they work quite closely with Brighton Gin, and we've done some gin and chocolate tastings up at the i360. So... and it's just such a popular chocolate. So.
Okay, open the bag. You've got the bag closed, George. We just got to try this. Whenever we're thinking about, some people may try at Christmas time as well, making truffles at home, as gifts. And it's a fun thing to try rolling out, and the Christmas music playing. But what is the secret there, for you in getting the balance right with chocolate and not being too overpowering? See, I don't like liqueurs, chocolates.
Yeah.
If I got those for Christmas, I would not be happy. Fan. But it's different when there's a truffle, and I think it's about being subtle for me anyway. So tell us what your secret is for making a good truffle.
So what I do is we get a lot of single origin chocolate. So it all comes from different areas. And so this particular chocolate is from Ghana. It's quite sweet, quite fruity, a little bit citrusy. So we also use it in our orange and lime chocolate bar.
Oh, it's so good, that chocolate bar.
Yeah, it's nice.
The orange and lime, oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah, so what I did is I then take a certain product, say gin, and I go, okay, how can I pair these chocolates? So I would try it with the different chocolates. So for instance, we got one that's from Ecuador, but the actual flavour is quite sort of smoky. It's more of a whiskey sort of flavour. It's quite like rich in cocoa. So when you try and pair it with gin, it doesn't work. This is something that we did in the i360 when I did the tasting. I made 2 chocolates with Ecuador chocolate, and then one was gin, one was rum. And I did 2 with the Ghanaian, and I obviously did the gin and the rum again, just to show people how it doesn't pair well. And so then what I did is I try and bring out the flavour of the gin and the chocolate. And so I infuse the cream with orange and lime and thyme and let that infuse for about 20 minutes. And then that just brings out the flavour, the citrus flavour from the Ghanaian chocolate, and then it also brings out the flavour of the gin.
So thyme going in there.
Yeah.
Now, while you've been talking, I've been eating. And you definitely know that there's the alcohol in here, and it is that beautiful balance.
Yeah.
With the smoothness of the truffle and the chocolate. It is really delightful. And also what makes it festive is you've kind of got a shiny, it's as if they've been dusted with fairy dust.
Yeah,
so was that purpose, for Christmas?
Yeah, so I just when I was making the gin and chocolate, I wanted it to be sort of like a stand-up chocolate. It was just it was a bit more of a special product, and I just thought it just needs a little bit extra, a little bit more Brighton, so I just shimmered it up a little bit.
Oh, it's so lovely, and you've got a really funky Brighton label.
Yeah,
I mean it's delicious, and I've got this fairy dust on my fingers now from eating it. And I have to say that I have tasted your Brighton gin truffles before, because I went away for a pre-Christmas weekend with some friends. So after the meal, I gave everybody one of these truffles to try. Nice. But I just had to have you open it so I could try one again. It's so good. Now, also, this makes a really lovely gift because price-wise, it's really within budget. So tell everyone what the price is for the bag of truffles.
So the bag of truffles is £4.50, and they're all handmade in our shop in Portland Road.
It is so good.
Yeah, loads of gin as well.
Honestly, you really do, and it's not sickeningly sweet or overpowering that some liqueur chocolates have. This is delicious, absolutely delicious.
I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. You kind of, because when you're a chef or a pastry chef, you add a lot of alcohol to products, but it's more to just lift the flavour up. You don't want to just overpower it, and that's what I try to do. I mean, there is a lot of gin in there, but when you actually work it out per truffle, it's just a really nice,
and that's the secret. And George can't tell anyone, so you can't make these at home. Okay, that's the secret ingredient. At $4.95 a bag, honestly, it's just fantastic, and the flavour is great. And of course, George, we had a wonderful show with you a few months ago, and you gave us a taste test. And we were talking about your journey, and having been a chef, this is so lovely because you really truly understand about flavours and this mixing. And I love what you said about the i360 in showing people, why it is so important to get the right chocolate as your base, and how it can go wrong if you mix it. And that's the whole thing, isn't it? We need to taste a variety of things to go, oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Otherwise we wouldn't really understand.
And I think that's slightly where I may have gone wrong, because obviously I as a chef, that's what we're used to, and it's, it's just we come in the morning and that's what we do. But a lot of people don't see the kind of behind the scenes. That's what I try to do at the shop, where you can have people come in and actually look through. People come and do a chocolate tasting. They can do their own classes. And I can then show them, this is why we use this chocolate. So, I've brought in some other chocolate bars here. Each chocolate is from a different country.
Now, tell us more about these, because there's some exciting new chocolate bars. And what I love about your chocolate bars, there's retail outlets like the Flower Plot Bakery and other independent traders have your chocolate, but you can also buy it from you at your shop on Portland Road. But it's sort of that lovely, there's leaves. You feel you're in a tropical rainforest, and each one you've taken the leaves and you've made a different colour per bar, and it's beautiful. So it feels like a gift when you get them. So what flavours have you got now added to the range?
So I've got a dark chocolate Moroccan mint, and this chocolate is from the Peruvian rainforest. So it's really, really difficult to get hold of, this chocolate. It is a very expensive chocolate to get in.
So this is the luxury coming in for this time of year then.
It was just one of these, I just had to try it, because it's one of those, there's certain places where it's really difficult to ship things. So Madagascar, for instance, that's why vanilla is so expensive.
Is that right?
Yeah, because they've got such a short runway. It's so difficult to get cargo.
For goodness sake. Yeah. Never knew that.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is, so Madagascar chocolate as well is really expensive because it's so difficult to get it off the island. And if you were to actually look up flights to try and get to Madagascar, you have to go so many different places, and wow, it's a bit crazy.
You see, this is the thing we don't understand quite often about our food sourcing. And when we know this, it helps us to appreciate what we eat all the more.
Exactly, yeah. And I like that the chocolate has, has a little bit of history behind it, has a story to, so we've got a dark chocolate chili and lime, and this chocolate's from Mexico. Now, it's naturally quite spicy, the chocolate, slightly fruity as well, a little bit citrusy. So when you pair it with the chili and lime, it works really well. With the Moroccan mint, it's got sort of deep, rich cocoa taste, but if you were to pair that with the chili, it just wouldn't work. And if you were to pair the Mexican chocolate with the mint, it just wouldn't work. So it's nice. So when you do these, obviously we pair a lot of our chocolate with, that's sort of what we do. But it's to lift that flavour of the chocolate. It just accompanies it.
Wow,
so
beautiful.
Really.
And now, what else have you got there? So we're moving along.
So I've also got milk chocolate coffee. Yeah, this is good. So this one I've been waiting about a year or two to make.
Okay, can you break that one open?
Yeah, let's do it.
We've got to break that open. I am
Batch
Lady
one
Coffee.
as well.
Batch one.
Batch
oh,
one.
oh.
This is the first bar. I saved it for this.
The first bar
this
we're
event.
trying here on the Food and Drink Show on Radio Reverb. Okay, you've heard this now. George Wellicome from the Brighton Cacao Company, and we're just about to have this taste. And of course, we have got our very own green room here, because we're piloting, doing the radio show with having a sort of other food producers in the area. I'm hopping in and out of the studio, so you're going to have to try that. Give everybody a little bit of this to try.
So, do you know, obviously, the Flower Pot Bakery?
Yeah.
So they've just opened a roastery called the Milk Shed.
I saw that.
So they've opened that recently, and the reason I was waiting so long for this, obviously I used to work for them, and so I always said to Ollie that I'd always make him a coffee chocolate bar. But what I wanted to do is grind the cocoa nibs with the coffee beans to get a more natural coffee flavour. So you get that sort of like nice small hit of the coffee, and that's because we've got a stone grinder, and what you do is you add some cocoa butter and then the cocoa nibs, and you have to grind it for about an hour or so until it won't be smooth, but it'll be moving, and then you add all the coffee, and then every hour or so you just keep tightening it, and then you have to leave it overnight. So I actually just put a batch on again, and it's been on for about 12 hours, 15 hours.
Really?
Yeah, and it just grinds it into like a really nice smooth paste, and then we add that into that's our chocolate bar.
It is so subtle. It is so subtle, and actually, don't put your chocolate bar in the fridge. Keep it out, because otherwise you're not going to get the taste. And it's interesting that you've chosen milk chocolate and not a dark chocolate. So therefore you have got that really creamy taste on the tongue. And there is that hint of coffee, and it's not overpowering. Yeah. It's, you know, the way there's I'm going to say the name Revels, and everybody would hate to get the coffee sweet in the bag. And often when coffee is used in chocolate, you have to love coffee, otherwise you're not going to drink it or eat the chocolate. If you are not a big coffee person, you are not going to find this chocolate bar offensive. It is very elegant.
Yeah, and that's, it's a really nice, it's smooth, it's creamy.
Congratulations. Honestly, it is really delicious. You have to savour it, and you're going, get the coffee in there. But it's not overpowering. So well done you, and I love the story behind that, which is great.
So it's
delicious.
Nice.
And we've tried it here. It's batch 1 on the Food and Drink Show. I'm so excited. Yeah. That is brilliant. Lovely. So just hold that up there to the camera for us there, George, so we can just see. We've got a camera in the studio as well, because we're playing around with audio visual for the show. So it's really, really good. And just very quickly tell us about the other 2 bars that you have that are looking very pretty. We're in the pink.
So this is, I just thought I'd bring out other 2 most popular bars. These are I think the pink peppercorn bar, I think you may have had it. Yeah.
I love that chocolate.
I think this is the chocolate that kind of set up the company. It was just, this is kind of the chocolate bar that we're about. It's really unusual. It's different. I've personally never seen a chocolate flavour like it.
So delicious.
And it's what I like about cooking is I want people to love things or hate it. And this very much is our Marmite. People really love it or they really hate it. And I don't want people to be in the middle, because it doesn't create any discussion. No. If it's like, it's okay, that's fine. But what I really like about this chocolate is it creates, we're doing the Brighton Christmas Festival at the moment, and you see husbands and wife like battling over it, going, I hate it. And you're like, they're going, well, I really like it, and it's.
I loved it from the first bite. That is my chocolate bar. Yeah, I loved it.
And that's the thing. I've taken it to. I give it to friends. I give it to people, and they go, "Oh no, I don't like the sound of that." And I'm like, "Just try it. Just try it."
You have to.
And they go, "Oh, actually, yeah, okay, yeah." And I'm like,
amazing.
It's just being a bit adventurous.
So, and it's one of your best sellers.
Yeah. So yeah, the pink peppercorn Himalayan salt and the caramelized white chocolate.
Everybody loves a little bit of caramel.
Yeah.
I think is it because it's been a trend in the last couple of years, George,
so.
to have
Yeah.
like salted caramel and everything.
Yeah, but I think it's definitely is part of the trend, but we do have a sweet tooth, and it just hits the spot.
Now, sometimes the caramel for me, it can be too sweet. So what have you done to balance this, or have you gone with what people want in general?
I just sort of go with what people want. I do caramel truffles that aren't as sweet, but it's one of those things. If you don't have a huge sweet tooth, it's definitely not the chocolate for you. Because it is so white chocolate contains a lot more sugar. So, and that's how we get the caramelized white chocolate. Is if you place white chocolate in the oven about 90 degrees for about 4 or 5 hours, because of its high sugar content, it starts to caramelize. So it will always naturally be sweet. And again, most of the dark chocolate lovers absolutely hate it, but it's the sweet tooth lovers go crazy.
Lovely. And there are people who absolutely adore, like my nephew just loves white chocolate. So I'll always get him some white chocolate at Christmas time, whatever. So it's in the white chocolate, which makes it really, I think, quite quirky and special. The fact that you've chosen the white chocolate to go with that, with the caramel. I absolutely love it. So there's really across the range a chocolate bar for everyone. Great for stocking fillers. I mean, are all your bars the same price? Because I know you've said that some chocolate is harder to get than others, or are they priced differently?
No, so I just try to keep it all at the same price. They're £4.50 each, or in our shop you can come and get 3 for £12, which is quite a reasonable price. But obviously some of them are a lot more expensive to produce, but they do roughly work out the same. There's some chocolate is a bit crazy expensive, and some will just run for a smaller amount of time because like the Moroccan mint is very expensive to buy, the Peruvian chocolate, but it's a good product and people like it. So it's, if we can see a bit more of a demand, then we might keep it on. And
after a nice big meal too, the whole idea of peppermint and mint for your digestion, of course, that's quite nice, and people are used to having chocolate mint.
Nice
having
cleanser.
it is a really nice palate cleanser. So that's beautiful. Something for everyone, lovely for gifts, lovely to gift yourself. And really, I applaud you on the Brighton gin truffles. They're just divine. So they're going to be definitely on my Christmas fare this year. Now, you run the just before you go, the chocolate classes.
Yeah.
So people can come and make chocolate with you. So how does that work?
So we basically just either book online or in the shop. But what it is they sort of run from about 2.5 to 4 hours. But actually, in a bizarre way, because of COVID, changed everything. We used to do big classes of 14, 15 people. And it was all a bit crazy, and there's a bit, there's chaos going on all the time. But because of COVID, and our shop's obviously slightly smaller, we have, I just thought, well, actually, I don't know if people really want to mix and match in their classes. I went and did a Indian cooking course, and there was a couple of us in there, and one person was a bit funny about, other people being there. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to do it at the moment. So if you just want to book for 2 people, we just do it with 2 people. Rather than having 6 people in there, 3 different couples, people might be more comfortable, people not so much. So at the moment, I'm doing it so that people can just come in, whether it's 1 person, 2, 4,
I love that.
all their friends. And actually what I found recently is it's so much more personal. Yeah. And I did a class the other day and it went on for about 5 hours. And then, oh, no, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it doesn't matter. You're having fun and there's no one else here to worry about.
Yeah.
You're not conscious about, this person's, you always get someone that's really quick or someone that's a bit slower. and they get to ask their own questions.
So really what it is, it's your passion really for making the chocolate yourself, and you enjoy other people enjoying themselves, and you're just going with the flow, because I think the more agile you can be during COVID with your business model.
Yeah.
And, when people are getting an experience with you, then so are you.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think, that is a must. It could be a great Christmas gift to gift someone how to make chocolate with you at the Brighton Cacao Company on Portland Road. Nice, intimate setting. You can order online your chocolates, pop into the shop, or you will also see your chocolate bars in the likes of the Flower Pot Bakery and a couple of other independent traders.
The I360, we're also in Health Rebels on Western Road, Brighton Flower Company, Western Road, Ginger and Dobbs in Shoreham. There's quite a few.
Oh, absolutely. Well, just remember all these delicious flavours. We wish you a fantastic Christmas and that everything goes swimmingly for you over the season. Now, I'm hoping you're going to step into the green room and help all our lovely guests to enjoy your chocolate. And there's some nice drinks out there to pair the chocolate with. So see what Louise and you can compare with your notes with. That's great. So George Wellicome from the Brighton Cacao Company here on the Food and Drink Show with myself, Karen Morton. Thank you for being with us.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Great. That's lovely.